we are now recording the August 5th, 2016 Small Business Accounting Advisors. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
And
Hello.
hello. So everyone is trying to stay cool here. Hot outside, except for Dennis, who has the perfect weather all the time.
Except when it rains, which is like 300 days a year.
Dennis, where do you live?
About 20 miles north of Seattle.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I know Shelley and I know Gail Kersop and other people, in the area, Beth Damus, those guys.
I was just up there. I got up there on Tuesday, and I just got home yesterday. You should have come to the meetup.
Where was that, in Bellevue, or was that?
Bellevue, yes.
Was that the, yeah. I'm kind of getting out of QuickBooks, and so I was hoping there'd be a boot camp this year, but there wasn't, so.
Yeah, but it wasn't QuickBooks. It was just, getting together, talking
Right.
about, what we do. And I was telling everybody about ICB, and we
Okay.
were enjoying the Fleet Week. Fleet Week was coming through.
Oh, yeah, it's Seafair. I mean, 20, 30 years ago, Seafair was like a month-long thing in the hydroplane races and the whole bit. Now it's like a 1 week thing, and maybe, it's really diminished in importance since I've gotten the Mariners and the Seahawks and all this other stuff. It was a small town type of thing when I was a kid, but it used to be really important. Now it's just kind of, I think it's tomorrow. I think it's on Sunday, the hydroplane race. So
it was impressive. I'm just saying, I mean, the Coast Guard and the naval ships that came in, I have never seen so many. This is not going to sound right, but huge, large ships. And what the funniest thing is there were some protesters in kayaks out there. And so it was the worst game of chicken I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You don't take a kayak against a naval ship.
Yeah.
But that's what they were trying to do.
Wow.
It was amazing. It was a lot of fun, though.
So were you, was it downtown where you had overlooking the bay? You must have been if you were seeing the fleet.
Yeah, it was a good time.
So Jan, you're getting around all over the place. I see ICB USA all over now.
That's the goal. Yay, thank you. And if I'm spamming you, I apologize. I'm not spamming you, so.
We are used to Seth. So what you got going on, I'm sorry, is nothing compared to that.
No, I feel like I'm just in the tidal wave behind it.
Well, you do have next week, is it next Thursday, you'll be working with Joanne?
Yes, it's next Thursday. We are putting together a boot camp. It's 2 hours. It's, I believe it's 11 o'clock 11 o'clock Mountain Time. And what we're going to work on is social media. So teaching accountants and bookkeepers how to work with social media. So that could be Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, really how to work on the algorithms, how to make sure that anything that you put out there gets the best exposure, and how to really make the best use of it. Because honestly, let's face it, this takes a lot of time, to try to keep up and get your information out there. So you want to make the best use of it. So we, for any ICB members, we have a special code. Yes, I know. Thank you. You get a code of $50 off because we're actually charging for this one. So I think it makes the boot camp $77. But it's a great deal because honestly, I don't know where you can go and learn about SEO and everything for 2 hours. And then you get all of the information and the recording afterwards as well, so that you can kind of follow through and make sure that you've got all of your marketing and everything tied down. So I'm excited to do this one.
Nice. Congratulations. So I'm hoping it goes well for you.
I hope so. I mean, I think to me, there's a lot, when Facebook changes their algorithms, I get lost in the waves. And I'm not very good at LinkedIn. I don't know very much about LinkedIn, but I kind of feel like I struggle with LinkedIn. I don't know about you guys.
I used to use LinkedIn. I used to log in every day in LinkedIn. Not so much anymore. I mean, I get the notices by email, and if I see somebody that's messaging me and whatever, then I respond back. But I think LinkedIn lost me when they opened it up to allow people, I'm going to say spam you, because there are people, and there have been people that I know that they sent this message that they sent to me to at least 500 other people.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
LinkedIn is kind of using it. I mean, it's like employee, company recruiters use LinkedIn quite a bit, don't they?
That's what yes and no. There's more. I mean, and there's special programs that they're starting that try and help small business people get their word out and connect with people that are looking for services.
Mm.
Linda, you're muted. It looked like you were trying to talk. Oh, the dogs are barking.
Oh,
Got it. So I've tried that, but I've gotten some proposals, sent proposals out. They're not really easy to deal with, and they're not easy to deal with when you do package pricing. They want an either project total or per hour cost, which, I really have a hard time with that now with proposals. I'm not.
I was on the Joel Woodard webinar this morning, and he was talking about value pricing. He said it's really hard to do that with compliance type of work like bookkeeping, and as opposed to fixed rate. He was saying that in theory, value basis, you get a percent of the value you're bringing. He's saying, if you could generate $1 million of income for somebody over a couple year period, he'd want to get 30% of that. Versus, like compliance work, like a tax return, it's kind of hard to do value pricing on that.
Who was it that was talking about that and saying that they were more of a partner with their clients than a vendor?
Well, I know Mark Wickersham does that as well. He believes in that. But I'm right with you, Dennis. I thought that was an excellent point. I think a lot of people don't look at it that way. Bookkeeping is now a commodity. And so what makes you different? Yeah, you can reconcile. You don't have to, you can download. Everybody can do that nowadays. So what makes you different than the next person? And even though you package that up, it doesn't make it unique. It doesn't make it special. And that's what I keep trying to tell people. Even though you can be a niche in consulting, or you can be a niche in construction, or a niche in legal, there's so many people that have to do that. You have to provide something in terms of relationship based and what you can save your clients. And that's got to be on the knowledge. And, where are you going to get that knowledge? You've got to get out there and you've got to work at it, and you've got to be the best that you can be. So it's hard, and how are you going to prove to your client that you're saving them $1 million?
Right.
Yeah. Like an opportunity,
and I think that's the big hard sell is clients don't know and do not care. They can't even tell the difference between a CPA and a bookkeeper right now.
Yeah.
So how are they going to know what you're offering them? For me, it's all about referrals, getting people referring from other clients. And that's how I get my value out there.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to a guy yesterday on my 30-minute free consultation. I got done one today at 4:00, but yesterday he basically has rental properties and was trying to decide whether or not to sell it. And I was, asking about, okay, what's your basis? You may have to recapture the depreciation. You lived there 3 out of 5 years, or 2 out of 5 years, and that kind of stuff. They don't really. I don't know if they ask you that in TurboTax or not. So I was telling him that he didn't even think he was taking depreciation on his property. He said, well, if you ever sell it, the IRS is going to think you should have. Was going to consider you did take it, so you might as well take it. And it's kind of things like that where that's where you can add value, is when things get complicated. I'm trying to get more into tax planning and tax representation, because there you get some creativity and you've got something that, it requires a certain amount of knowledge, but it also allows you, it's hard to cookie cutter that. I mean, everybody's got their unique approach. So I think that's kind of the key, kind of an intersection between, skill sets and something where you can be creative, somewhat creative.
Well, I think you have to get out there and talk to the clients too. What you're doing is great, Dennis. The free 30 minutes makes them feel like they're getting something for free.
Yeah, the only stipulation.
And it only takes 5 or 10 minutes to know that you know your stuff.
I tend to ramble on. So it's usually more like about 40 minutes. But I figure since I don't have to get in my car and go anyplace, and I don't have people come to see me. If they want to see me, they can do a Zoom. I give them that option, so that, and I kind of like that because you can record it, and then it kind of simulates very closely a face-to-face meeting. At least you get a sense who the person is, as opposed to just a voice on the phone. But a voice on the phone is, I try to listen and try to give good advice. I don't try to sell them on anything. I just say.
That's the big key, Dennis, I think, is the listening part. I've been a QuickBooks Pro advisor for a really long time, so I know QuickBooks. But when I talk to people, they don't really know or care much about that. All they care about is their specific problem and how much is it going to cost for them to fix their problem. So my value comes in after I've been working with them, a time or two. I have a client that I'm bringing on that I'm doing a proposal for now. They were referred by another client, and the first time I went there, they were just blown away by my prices. Well, now they're calling me and saying, when can I get you to come in? Let's do this regularly. I would like to have a regular monthly meeting with you now. Hey, great, perfect. I'd love to do that.
Well, and I think you hit it right on the head, both of you, actually. If you really spend a little time getting to know the client, getting to know the pain points, you can target in really quick where you can save them some money. And I think a lot of people try to sell because they think this is the value. The value is not selling, it's actually solving or helping them find pain points that they didn't know. I still have my practice, and I went to a customer and they listed all of these pain points. One of the biggest things is they have, and they're trying to stay under that 50 person limit, right, for the healthcare.
Yeah.
And they're doing a lot of manual processes. And I said, listen, we can solve this pain point that you didn't even know you have. You cannot grow because you're doing manual. If we automate a lot of this, you have the ability to save in man hours and still stay in your 50, but yet grow your company. Right. That is more valuable to them because they had no idea that they could grow without hiring more people. And when you point that out to them, something as simple as that right there, it doesn't matter because you've just been able to help them grow and you've just listened to something that they need. So I think doing an assessment for them really helps. And I know, Gina, you do one. Dennis, don't you do one as well?
Not so much not for taxes that much. Unless they've got questions. I'm getting more and more into tax, and effectively I offer QuickBooks and Xero for my tax clients. If someone calls me for a QuickBooks setup, I refer a guy named Keith Gorman's on. Did you meet Keith?
Yep.
He and I have kind of a relationship where he'll refer his QuickBooks clients to me for taxes, and I still have I'm an advanced pro advisor, but I figured desktop is kind of dying off. I look at desktop as kind of like a stock that's going down in value.
Just remember, I do desktop. That's all I do.
Well, I'm just giving my opinion. It just seems to me
No, that's fine. But if you have somebody that you really think that's what they need, if somebody did online, I have no problem. I refer to people that do online.
Yeah, like say, I don't do desktop anymore because it seemed like most of the demand came during tax season. It was just too distracting. It's kind of a one and done, for me at least it was. And I don't like going to people's office and having to do the setup. And so I just kind of refer it out to other people. And, they've reciprocated and give me good clients. And, goes on. And I think my relationship with the clients lasted probably than their relationship. It's in terms of amount of, contact and, work for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and partnering, I think, is good too, because we can't know it all, right?
No.
It's not going to happen. So partnering with people definitely helps you out.
Well, I think of people, other accountants and bookkeepers as colleagues and not competitors. I mean, I'm just one person. I can't do everything, and I don't want to do everything. So,
Yeah.
And I'll refer some of my PETA clients to them too, if they want to take them on. I get sick of them.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Got one client I may want to.
Yeah, well, after a while, that PETA client gets passed around so often that they're either going to change their ways.
Yeah, but also, you got to understand PETAs need to find a match.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the person that might be a PETA to you might be the perfect match for somebody else because
Exactly.
whether it's temperament, whether it's, however,
That's right.
that person, the reason that person is a PETA is because you're not a match. And I don't ever call any of my clients PETAs. I just say they're just not a match.
Got it.
They're just not, we're just not a match because there's a match for everybody out there. And that person has a match somewhere. It just happens to be not you.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I've had some clients where I actually really liked them as people, but they just drive me nuts. So it was
Client, yeah.
as a client, I was like, it just didn't work very well. Joe Woodard had a really interesting take. Are you a member of Woodard's group, Jan?
Yeah, I am.
Did you hear the part about the people wanting to use their own tools and have you sit in and work with it? That was really a good point. I mean, if anybody's a member of NAN, or I don't know if they call it NAN anymore, but it was really an interesting take on the value you add because you've got systems and you streamline things, and they want to come in and have you work on, say you're a QuickBooks person, they want you to come in and work on Xero and learn that, and it's, it takes you more time to adapt to their system rather than,
Yeah, I thought that was a good point. And, he's really talking about specializing. And I think a lot of people, and I know because from my role in ICB, I see a lot of people, and remember, like, we're more experienced, but some of these younger people, they are doing 2 and 3 different types of software. So, and think about it. When we first started, we took everything. I mean, I did because I needed the money.
Anybody who's willing and able to pay.
Yeah.
Both, not either or.
And they may have been a PETA back then, but I was willing to put up with it because I needed the money. And, if they worked on Excel and then they had pencils with bad erasers, I took them. It didn't really matter. He's trying to say, if you want to move forward, you need to do that. And I don't know if they're listening, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a different mentality for the younger people. But for me, I can't do it. I don't have the brain power to do it.
Yeah. I kind of regard it like when you're a minor league ball player, you take on, as you get more experience, you take on better type of clients, but you kind of,
Well, you start valuing your time a little bit more.
you become more efficient and you're willing to put up with less.
The PETA clients, in my opinion, for me, are the type that don't get me the information I need to do what I need to do.
Yeah. The PETA clients are people have to ask 5 times to get me the information.
Right. I now have a policy. I will ask 3 times.
3 times?
After the 3rd time, it's in writing and you suffer the consequences. I will not spend a Saturday or a Sunday cleaning up a problem that I told you about and you did not listen and did not do whatever, and now it's a problem and the IRS is breathing down your neck, or sales tax is a big one, actually.
You've got an intent. So you've got an intent to seize assets, letter from the IRS. That's when you start. I find when people have
listening and getting scared. I'm sorry, I told you 2 months ago that this was going to happen.
Yeah, I find when the IRS starts garnishing people's paychecks, and they kind of take notice that they need to, get going.
Well, at that point, I let them, because then what happens if you pull their butts out of the fire? They expect that every time.
They do, and they don't really understand how much that rescue is worth. Whereas if they have to pay the price a couple of times and then you rescue them, it's like, oh, this is really saving me money. It's not.
Maybe I should do something different to get a different result.
Yeah, what am I doing wrong?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But hey, Shelley, are you with us?
Sort of.
Unmute.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, there she is.
Well, Jan was hoping that you would come on and talk a little bit about Xerocon next week.
Oh.
So Shelley, are you still the quick source, or are you the zero source now?
Oh, that's really cute, Dennis. I love it. Gosh. Oh, that's great. You got me. Yeah.
I don't know if I like the sound of zero source. So we have to come up with a new logo for you.
No, it's I sort of eked it. It was the quick source for QuickBooks professionals, and then it became the quick source for accounting technology professionals, and kind of slowly moved everything with the word QuickBooks to quick source and over the last couple years. So to make it more broad, because I knew I was going to start supporting Xero a few years ago.
So why did you pick Xero over QBO, other than the fact that Xero is a better program?
Well, that's a loaded question.
I just signed in. I'll put myself on.
We won't tell anybody.
Yeah, sure. Nobody will hear this. Well, let's see. That is a good question. I miss the days of QuickBooks Desktop, though, and I still have a few QuickBooks Desktop clients.
Yay!
Yeah, I know some of you guys are diehards.
I only do desktop, so.
I know.
Brandon likes desktop too. He's giving it the thumbs up.
You can probably do it for another 10 years, but I did.
In 10 years, I'll be 80, and I'd probably be ready to do something else.
Maybe. I remember when I was first sussing out Xero, I looked at the revenue model and how it was really built in that the more clients I had signed up on it, the more I would keep getting these discounts. And in 10 years, what I did is kind of went backwards and looked at what if I had been participating in that kind of a program 10 years ago, where would I be at now? Yeah. I'm about to be 50. I thought, well, I got 10 years to build this up. And it's a nice little, it makes a lot of sense. Right. And it's more of a two-way street that way.
Sure. Nice. So you guys are, Shelley, Jan, I think Mariette are all going to be at Xerocon. Is it next week or the following week?
The following week.
The following week. So you guys are all going to get together and meet in real life, IRL.
Yes, I'm very excited to meet you guys in real life.
Oh, IRL is in real life.
In real life, yes, that's what IRL is.
So that's the week of the 15th then.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to get together after the last event when we've blown off all the steam we have, and just kick back and sort of recap over a glass of wine or water or tea or wherever you're at that point. And that'll be like right after the last happy hour that ends at 7:00. So we'll slide on over probably to the Zephyr, and then we can do the Zoom from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
I don't really know how to do it, but I know Jan said she could get ICB support to just help us coordinate it and make sure we know what we're doing.
I could set a Zoom link up that you can actually just click on it at any time. There is a setting in Zoom that allows it to start when any participant joins.
Got it.
So that means I'll put the link in the Facebook group, and you can click on that link at any time and you can start. But I would send out notices to other people saying, hey, join our Zoom meeting. And I'll use an ID that's not my personal Zoom ID or the Small Business Associate or accounting.
SBAA?
Pardon?
Are you trying to say?
SBA, Small Business Accounting Advisors?
Yes.
What would you like us to do at the Zoom?
Well, I was just thinking of leaving it open and letting you guys communicate that way anytime you need to. You can communicate one-on-one with someone else. You can communicate with the group. And you can let us know that are back at home all the exciting things that are happening there.
I could be like an interviewer, interviewing
There you
everybody.
go.
Asking Shelley, how did your talk go today?
Okay, let's have a rule about no interviews after like
I
8
hear ya.
After how many drinks?
Shelley will have her drink in her hand like, oh, yeah.
Oh, dear.
Nothing public. No, this would not be recorded. These Zoom meetings would not be recorded. It would just be for our benefit communicating together. This event today is being recorded, but you can set meetings up so that they are not recorded.
Well, we could record the one, the last one, the recap one. Maybe everybody could sort of share a couple of thoughts of what they got out of it, and that'll be a nice thing to revisit later.
Oh, yeah, that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
So is Xero going to put out some sort of video as to highlights of the Xerocon or?
Probably, I would think so.
I'd like to find out more about if there's any new reports or if they've, beefed up their reporting. It'd be interesting for me at least.
Have you looked at the new reports, like the new reports?
I don't see them on, they took away the new reports category. They're kind of mixed in with the other ones.
Yeah, it's the new reports now. There's no new reports. Now it's all new reports.
Oh, they're all new reports?
Yeah, and I can give you a little walkthrough if you want.
Yeah. If anybody else is interested.
Let's do it.
I am completely unprepared, so chat for just a minute and then I'll get going.
Let's talk to Larry. Let's move on a little bit. Larry and Windows 10. Some people have had no problems whatsoever. Misha. Some people have had problems. Larry and Dennis, too.
I never did mine. I got scared.
I have a brother multifunction printer, but I've had it for probably 6-7 years.
Your brother makes good printers.
Yeah. I even replaced the drum on it, I guess, once or twice. Had it professionally maintained about 3 years ago. The guy took it apart, cleaned everything, blah, blah, blah. And I said, hey, this thing's still plunking away. I'm going to keep it.
Absolutely.
But when I upgraded to Windows 10, see, I didn't do a raw install an install on a new machine. I installed from Windows 7.
Yeah.
And I think, from what I've heard from some other folks, I don't know, somehow it carries over some we'll say garbage from the past, and it just doesn't allow you to sync with your. The other thing is this printer, you can't get drivers from Brother. They say it's because it's plugged in by USB. They said it's baked in drivers into the machine. Of course, the machine's old, so it's kind of end of story. I went around the horn with a couple of the IT guys I know and some other things, and it looks like it's just it's going to be an anchor.
So Larry, technically, it wasn't a software issue. It was a old equipment issue. It wasn't that
Yes.
there was right. So it wasn't that something on your some of the software on your computer was incompatible. It's just that some of your peripherals were out of sync.
Yes, that's
because
correct.
that is the major. That was one of the major reasons I didn't bother to change, because my printer, I have an HP color laser printer, and it's like 5 years old, but I can download drivers for it from HP, and I get the updates regularly. And my Neat scanner works perfectly, and like I made sure everything that I have plugged into my computer worked. And I tried it on my laptop first, and then everything was fine. I didn't have any issues.
It worked fine with my laptop until it blew its hard drive. It's another problem. I got to replace the hard drive on the laptop. But anyway.
I get a new laptop.
Well,
laptop-
yeah,
the
what good is a
laptop is
program if the laptop's not in? I mean.
The laptop's actually newer than the desktop, I think. No, maybe it's the other way around. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Wow. Well, Dennis, you had problems, didn't you, with the scanner? Did you say that you had problems with drivers?
Well, on my ScanSnap, one thing that Fujitsu does not tell you is that even though they didn't update the drivers on the ScanSnap S510, there are other drivers that the successor machine for that, it's like it works. And so I found that on the internet when I was doing some research as to solutions, and they said, oh yeah, you can just download their newest drivers and it'll still work. And so it does actually work pretty well. So I use that rather than, but the trouble I was having it happened twice, where on my Windows 7 machine I would download it, it would work, but I couldn't get the internet, or even more strangely, I could only get certain websites on the internet, like MSNBC and other ones. But there was I was just getting
how they're Microsoft. Sorry.
Yeah, what a surprise! Who would have thought? But anyway, I just said, forget this. The nice thing was it was easy to go back to Windows 7. It took a lot less time to go back than to download it, but each time it looked like it was working, but then I just couldn't access the internet, and so it was kind of worthless to me to, So I said I'd rather have a Windows 7 that actually works with the internet rather than a Windows 10, since I already have 2 other Windows 10 machines. But I think you're better off just getting it, a new machine that has Windows 10 installed on it, rather than trying to cope with all the, things that don't match, or the driver updates or conflicts or whatever. You can't really, because you really chew up a lot of time with that. And,
Right,
you never get your time back. So
that's right. That is true. So
I fought with it for a while, but because I'm kind of in between gigs here almost. I'm not quite out of the old one, but I will be soon. And I figured I had time on my hands to spare. So, but it didn't work out. It's a funny thing is the cheapo Neat scanner that picked up the drivers right away. No problem.
No problem.
Yeah.
That's what Misha said.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay. Well, Shelley, I think we're ready. Are you ready for us now?
Maybe. Let's see. Except I don't. Oh, there we go. Back to the Zoom, and then I hit the share screen button, obviously.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, and then I can choose the screen. Okay, that's what I was worried about, because of course I have a million screens open. Okay.
Because that's how we roll.
Okay. Yep. All right. So you're seeing my Xero,
Yes.
right? Okay. Yeah. And I'm in the demo company, which I got to from my Xero. So you start at my Xero, and if you're an advisor, and then you'll have access to this demo company.
Nice.
Yeah. So this is the dashboard. So reports have really changed a lot. There's no new reports here. It's all reports, and the interface is different. And I'll just show you a couple quick things, and then Dennis, I'm going to try to hit your question or two, and then then we could get more specific if anybody has any kind of report they want to try to run. So under here, this is something I don't like. You have to hit these little bubbles in order to expand. These reports are your business performance reports, which are kind of cool because you can actually add them to the dashboard. So if they have a star next to them, then they'll be on your dashboard. And this is where your clients go when they first land on Xero, is the dashboard. So you can customize it and put these reports here for them. The other thing I wanted to make sure everybody's aware of, which is just a little not what you'd expect, is that there's still the reports under the advisor reports called the management report. And this is how I make my reports for my clients, because it's actually a series of reports. I can choose the ones that I want. So I always have the income statement and the balance sheet. And the nice thing about this is it's all together in one nice package. So I can customize it, and then I can save it as a draft. Or the first thing you have to do actually is just a little bit different, is publish it. So you can give it a title, and then keep the pages that you want. So I don't use all of these for everybody, but I always use these for everybody. And then here's my branding theme. So this always goes on my branding theme. And then I can save this as a draft. And a draft report means that the formatting is live. So it's like a report in QuickBooks. So the formatting is live, but the data is not. A published report, and this is something that I really like about Xero, means that the data has been locked down. And then archived is like another level of that. That for me, that means it's gone to the CPA for taxes.
So published, the word published is a little confusing to me, because you use the word published like when you're fixing your website or something, you publish it and it goes out to the public. For publish here, that's not the case. Am I correct?
I think you can use it whatever way you want, because it means that the data is locked down.
Right.
So for me, drafts means that my clients haven't approved them yet. Something needs to be corrected. Published means that it's really, I guess, still a work in progress until it becomes a tax return, and then it's archived. But you can use this flow any way you want.
But published does not mean that it's available to the public.
No,
like
not
you're
at all.
publishing a book.
Right. So it can publish this report. That's going to lock down the data. And then this is what I do is I go from final, and it has the year in it. And then I hit the publish. So it goes from draft to final. And now it's in my published section. That means that the data is locked down. So I have a draft report that I moved over to published, where I locked the data down. And then at the end of the year, I clean everything up out of here and I move it over to archived. So you could do it any way you want, as far as how you manage these.
How do you access it once it's been archived, or does it give you a list of archived reports?
Sure, let's follow this one out. So now it's in the archived, so I move it over to the archived. There it is. I could export it, use it, and I could also move it back over to published or delete it.
Got it. Nice.
Yeah.
That is a nice feature.
I do use it in conjunction with the Xero files. If you're familiar with the files and the folders, it's just an awesome way to save documents, so you can make your own folders here. So I do keep a final copy in the files in its own folder as well, out of utter paranoia. Yeah. Oh, so then, Dennis, you were interested in an invoice report.
Basically, I'd like to get a report that has the transactions by customer, so I could see who's been billed and who's paid, kind of like
all the transactions.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I was thinking just invoices. This one just kind of pops out. and has invoices on it. Pops out as in it doesn't require any formatting. It's one of the newer reports, I believe. So I just changed the dates on it because it pops out for generates for last month, and there wasn't any data in.
But if I wanted to say like sort it by, what is it, by two, I guess it is, the customer, like Ridgeway University, if I wanted to, I'm thinking of like an Excel looking type of report that has.
Yeah, this isn't what I was thinking. This is definitely not as beautiful as I was thinking. But what is kind of cool about it is I did place it on the bar. So you can place it right on this bar here by giving it a star on the all reports. So I kind of wanted to show you how that works. So that means the starring, just like the starring on the performance reports. Okay, so we're learning this together. I have nothing really great to show you. I'll show you what I know because this is really all new. But let's look at the account transactions. So that's where we might see the most detail and have the most flexibility to use the new reporting features, which aren't really that new. They just, like I said, they've been sort of in limbo in the new report section. So I'm opening up this report settings here, and you can see there's a lot of options here. So I have one of these for client where I've only selected all of the income accounts because I want a detail of all the income accounts, and then I have it grouped by customer, which should be the contact. In the demo, I don't want to open up my customer file and show it to you.
Right.
But yeah. So more flexibility in here. I don't see contact though, but that is what I need for the group by. Can anybody help me here? Is it source? It's not source. Yeah, region. Okay.
Try go up at the top,
Uh-huh.
and you see you have a none selected. So maybe that if you select something there, it'll give you what you need.
Maybe. I was wondering the same thing. So how about sales? Because we're looking for income.
Sales, yeah.
But
once you select that, then it should give you the option to then group by customer, right?
you know what? But we probably want really if we're trying we want all the accounts because.
Oh, okay.
Payments.
Yeah, it didn't really change the account code and that sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So maybe this isn't going to be the right report. Let's look at the sales, what's in the sales groups. You still have to, whoops. Sorry. Moving too fast. Still have to open the little bubbles to get to everything, which is just a little annoying. Nope. That doesn't look like it's going to have what I want in it.
How about income by contact with that?
That's maybe. It's not a detail.
What are you looking for, Shelley?
A transaction detail report that shows all transactions related to contacts.
Right, or a customer. Group by with, totals, subtotals, I guess I should say.
So, yeah. I don't know how to get that report in here because to me, that's on two different fields. The customer contact versus the sales, right?
Let's just see what else we have in here.
Okay.
Isn't it like items by customer in QuickBooks?
Sales by item. Well, Dennis, of course, is asking for the moon because he wants everything in and out of accounts receivable. So maybe, right? You're talking about accounts receivables, but I suppose they could be cash basis too.
Yeah, in theory, you're going to be sending out an invoice, and although sometimes you'll get a cash payment, I guess you could create an invoice for it if you wanted to. But,
You could do a receive payments.
Mm.
If it's
Okay.
if it's cash basis, you know, or I guess if we can just get the detail off of an income statement in a detailed way. No.
Brett's father died.
Well, so that's what I know with the new report. I have been able to, so there is limitations in being able to make filter reports. This window where you get to open and get to this report settings and do a lot of stuff, I've found in several different places, but it feels like as things have been moving from the old interface to the new one, that some things that were there suddenly go away.
You to add a filter down there, does it give you any more options there?
Contact is what we're looking for. We would want it grouped by contact. I'm sure if we use a sales report, we would get what we want. If we use it like an accounts receivable report, I think we could get what we want. And so let me wrap this up because I don't want to suck up all of our time by just doing a quick, balance sheet. I just clicked on the wrong thing. And I'll show you one thing that I really like about Xero. And while we're at it, I'll see what I can get out of an accounts receivable report. So let's say it's just somebody who fully uses AR, and we need a report out of there. In more options, we're not going to have much. We're not going to have, this is the tracking code, so it's not customers.
You're not sharing your screen, it doesn't look like.
Am I not sharing your screen?
No.
No.
Okay, that's okay. You know what? When you come back from Xerocon, hit us up again. See if we know,
Oh, wait, I got to show you one last thing, though.
Okay.
Okay. So, balance sheet.
I'll talk to you later.
Yes. Looking at all the transactions in accounts receivable for the period. I hit the show transactions button, which opened that into a new window here.
So you wouldn't double click on the link, or is it you have to click on the show transactions?
You got to click on the show transactions, and then I right clicked to go to open in a new tab.
Okay.
So I opened it up in a new tab. Now I have a list of everything that went in and out of the AR account in that period. And now I can select the add to report, which will add that detail to my balance sheet. So when I publish this report or export it, it'll have a tab on it for all of those transactions.
Oh, nice. That's nice.
All right, now I will stop sharing. Yeah, when I get back from Xerocon, maybe I'll know how to do it. The classes in our series is all about reports.
Yeah, we're not doing reports. Remember, this is why we're struggling.
Find out if you can do calculated fields in the reports.
Oh, another question from Dennis.
You know what, Dennis? Actually, they do the calculator fields. They actually merge with Microsoft BI. Have you played with that at all?
No, I come from an access background, and I'm used to creating fields on the reports from the underlying database.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. If you look at it's the business intelligence that Microsoft just came out with, and it's completely free. You can link your Xero to it. I cannot tell you how much in love I am with this feature.
Is that something you go to Microsoft to link, or is something Xero?
Yeah, go into Xero first, and then there'll be a link in there, and then go into Microsoft, create the account. You have to apply for it. You'll get a link, and then once you set it up, you go in. And it's just an open API. You just connect the two accounts, and then there you go. And there's so much in there. It's very much like an Access database that you can connect, and the charts and the graphs, and I'm loving it, seriously.
And you say it's not, they don't charge you for it? Is it
No.
for accountants, or is it just kind of like beta software right now?
What's it called?
Microsoft BI is standing for Business Intelligence.
Oh,
And
me about that.
Yeah, it's so incredible, and it's kind of in a beta right now for Xero, but Microsoft Business Intelligence has been around for about a year now, I think.
Nice. That's Dennis's job now. Dennis now has some homework.
I'm still doing tax returns. That guy rolled the stone up the hill.
I'm going to switch gears now. I'm going to go back to Misha, and I want to talk a little Aquity. Aquity seems to be the hot topic.
Hey.
Hey.
I just signed up for Aquity.
Awesome.
There were a couple other people that were using Aquity too. And one person didn't realize that it now integrates with Zoom and made the switch. And
Yeah.
found out that he's having a little bit.
Oh, what was the problem? It was
Oh, that was, I think it was Penny, and it was changing the name, but she realized what the problem was. In one of the later comments, it was that she had done something, and she just needed to make one quick adjustment. I can't remember what it was.
she didn't want to have to go back later and edit the name.
Right, she didn't want to have to go back. She saved to go and edit the name, but it was something she was doing before that she fixed, and now I think she was fine. At least the last comment I saw.
I signed up for it after your Facebook things. I mean, if you go, so I've been using it, but I'm trying to figure out if I have an appointment on my Google Calendar, does it take that off I'm not seeing that coming off the appointment that you can schedule. So if
how can I show that? Can you blot out, can you kind of hide some stuff, Gina, and when you edit?
When you edit.
Like just throw a little block over a name or something?
I don't have that ability. I don't have Camtasia.
I was playing with it, and it seemed like things I heard.
Okay, I can do it in a different way. Oh, well, those are my personal appointments, but damn. Okay, that's fine. So Debbie.
Yeah.
Debbie, what do you prefer, Deborah or Debbie?
Debbie. I like Debbie, but I just,
I like Debbie too. You're cute. You like a little Debbie. Like the little Debbie snack cakes. I just want to eat you up. Okay. Can you tell I'm hungry? Okay. This is basically what your calendar will look like. If you set the sync to go with your Google Calendar, it will automatically block the time off in your Aquity.
Okay, because I thought I did that, and okay, when I was playing with it, I didn't see the calendar view like that.
So you have to. It's when you go in and you sign in, you click on appointments and then appointment calendar. Okay. I'm in online, so this is for next week.
Right.
So I have these appointments that I put on my Google Calendar, and it automatically block the time off, so nobody can schedule anything here.
Okay, so when they go in to schedule a time, those times will not be...
Correct.
I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, if you go to my Facebook page, I just had Yvette do it. She saw it.
Yeah.
And, my behind the scenes page, you can click on it and...
I'll show you. Unfortunately.
I put on my email too.
Hold on one second.
Well, I am thinking that since everybody's playing with Aquity, we ought to have a SmartSheet for Aquity under calendars.
So here's my Facebook page. So I was able to link it, and there's an app that you can add where it will literally bring in the actual appointment. The reason I'm looking at it is because it's my thing, so I can see. It's not the public view, but you can actually embed it right into your Facebook.
Could you go to my Facebook page and see what it looks like behind,
what is it?
Like, I don't know how to get there. I'm learning all this stuff.
What's your,
behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
Oh. I thought, oh my God. I thought she was telling me to go behind the scenes. Which one?
That one at the bottom, Deborah Kilsheimer.
There you are. Okay.
That's not the one, Deb.
That's not the one, Deb. That's you.
It's the one that says behind the scenes. It's probably connected on her timeline.
I don't know how to work all this stuff. I'm learning it.
Well, there's a boot camp next week on Thursday.
Behind the
How
scenes.
come it's not showing it?
I don't know.
Do behind the
Top
scenes.
one.
Oh,
Do the
wait.
top one.
Do behind the scenes.
I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it.
There you go.
So right here, it's right here. You just click on it.
Wait, slow down.
Oh, sorry. So when you get on her page,
Yes.
get to her page.
Yes.
So she has her services set,
Mm-hmm.
right? And over on the left-hand side, you have her. This is
Not the new page.
This is her tabs. This is the new Facebook, the new business pages for Facebook. They've changed it up a lot.
But mine hasn't changed yet, I don't think.
Yeah.
So now, because she's embedded Aquity, she's added the Aquity app. Once you just click the book appointment, it will literally bring her landing page from Aquity. So what you can do, Deb, you can actually brand this and have your logo at the top of the page, or change the color and stuff like that.
I'm gonna have to change that. I mean, I spent a whole afternoon on that dumb banner because put my face in the corner. Now I'm gonna change. I paid a whole $1.
I paid a fortune to get it all situated just right. I just did it.
And now it's gone. I know.
And now you got a big
I paid
square of
$1
nothing.
for that. I paid $1 for that. My husband said, "What's this $1?" I said, "I bought a Facebook thing." This is hilarious. So he doesn't like to be out front of anybody.
Yeah.
So I put this out, and client, and I put out, "Please like my page," to everybody I knew. And then a client calls him up. "Oh, Hal, are you still working with Behind the Scenes?" "Yes." "Why?" "Because I don't see your name on the Facebook." I said, "Well, the guy's a dope. You don't like him anyway, you know." But
this is the
How expensive is this toy?
what, Aquity?
Uh-huh.
For one calendar, it's $10 a month. For up to 6, it's $19.
To work with Outlook?
yes.
Yeah. Business settings.
I don't want any new clients.
Hold on. Integration. So look, these are your integrations.
I have to take a nap.
You have Aweber. You have GoToMeeting. You have FreshBooks. You have all of these. Google Analytics. MailChimp.
Oh, sheets. Yay.
Yep. I mean, these are
Toys.
Our pictures now.
all of these. You can integration.
Huh.
That's why I say we should have a smart sheet for it, so everyone knows.
Okay, but then but the smart sheet for calendars, and then the column will be Aquity, and then what else do you want to compare it again?
Well, it's going to be scheduled. I think there's schedule once, and there are a lot of scheduling programs.
Okay.
So it'll be scheduling.
Well, you
But the
guys
good thing-
type up too. I'll get it going.
So,
The good
Misha,
thing about
do you use this with your clients or just your team?
my clients, it's just me.
Oh, okay.
So what I've done is
Oh,
I've
you could
embedded
use
it.
your team.
Yeah, you can do up to 6 calendars and have different types of calendars.
Each $10 a calendar?
It's okay.
No, but if I'm on Outlook, we can share each other's calendars and put stuff on each other's calendars.
Yeah, but this is a scheduling. This is not a calendar. This is your scheduling for people to book appointments with you
And pay.
and pay. Yes,
You're not a human being.
you can actually pay using these options. You can have people actually book an appointment and pay at the same time.
Oh, it's
Look at Sarah's. Sarah's like, oh, squirrel.
All of that's then taken care of before you even get on the phone with them.
There's some videos on YouTube.
I don't want to talk to new people.
The other option you can set up intake forms. So you can do intake forms. So you can actually create a form that they fill out. So basic questions before you even talk to them, you can ask them for stuff and they can provide that and that'll go into the email. You can offer different packages. You can offer gift certificates, coupons. You can have.
Mark just mentioned a client of ours, or actually it's a relative, and she owns a, this is real cool. They're therapists with children, but it's it's all therapy through art and everything.
Yep.
And one of their biggest problems is the whole scheduling and all that. Does this interface then with QuickBooks?
Yes, see. So you have Wait, QuickBooks? No, not QuickBooks. Yes, QuickBooks I think QuickBooks Online.
Online, probably.
Yeah, QuickBooks Online.
Is there a way to have a client sign off on your engagement letter in this process?
I've asked to see if you can upload a file that they can that will be included in the meeting invitation, but they don't have that yet. You literally have to build a form. And unfortunately, I've talked to them about this. I said, y'all need to make this thing pretty. So Kristen has passed that on to the developers. So I told them I want to have a talk and we're going to go through some stuff. But you literally can, select from here and make your own question. And then the thing is, they're crazy. Look at this. Hell, I have no idea what to do. They will send you emails and they'll have poems in them. Dennis, you said you just signed up for, right? You're doing your free trial. Scroll all the way down to the bottom. Answer the trivia question. I got 3 free months because I answered the trivia question.
Where was that?
I just signed up today.
In the email, when you get the email confirming your free trial, read through the entire email. And a lot of people haven't done that.
No, I know.
So, Misha, so the email is you get when you sign up, right? Like, is there a link or do I just go to the website?
I can, and you can do affiliate. I can get you my link.
Okay.
And you can sign up and you get $30.
Hey, Misha.
For every referral. Yep.
Since you have all these great contacts at this company, can you get somebody to talk to us on a?
I will. That was my next suggestion. I was going to try to schedule an actual demo from somebody from the company. But the other thing is the Zoom integration. You can change you can do your confirmation emails. So with the confirmation emails, the one for Zoom, because I only have 2 meetings that are video conference. And what I ended up doing, I just literally added this line here, the one where it says location. So now when they get the email, the Zoom link just pops right in. Because before it wasn't there, I emailed them and I said, hey, what's this about? They just said, oh, just throw it right there and we'll plop it in for you. So that's what I did. And then I just have my wording. I can change all of this. You can, add it to Google Calendar. You can add it to iCal, Outlook, all sorts of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I put on my website and I was surprised that some person actually signed up and I saw it on my Google Calendar.
Yeah.
Surprise!
Yeah, Dennis, that's what happens when you put it out there and people
that's sort of kind of the way it's supposed to work.
I know.
Yeah, I guess I need to pay attention.
Sarah.
You gonna talk to him?
I know,
I
Sarah.
talked to him yesterday, but I'm talking to somebody else today at 4 o'clock because on my web, this was before I got the calendar, the one today at 4 o'clock, and so I offer people 30 minutes free consultation a Zoom meeting, so I don't have to go anywhere. But.
So, Sarah, here is the calendar syncing. Mm-hmm. You have two-way sync with Google. You have iCloud, Outlook 365.
Yeah, if my husband ever gets my 365 hooked up.
You have Outlook Exchange. Brandon, I know you heard me. Regular Outlook.com, and then there's one-way subscriptions that you can do. That would be like Outlook for Mac and Outlook Desktop and that sort of thing.
I saw Authorize.net on there.
For payments, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Misha.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, but for something like this, one of the other ones might be cheaper.
Yeah.
Hey, Misha.
Yeah.
I know there's YouTube videos. Is there anything on this? I was looking at a couple of them the other day, but is there anything on the website that has their own videos that they've kind of homegrown?
I have to look because I'm one of those people where I have to play with it to get it.
Yeah.
Everybody's different, so I'm not really a big. Honestly, most of the time I can't stand looking at people do things. I have to touch it first and then watch a video.
Mm-hmm.
It just. I'm like, okay, let me just play with it. I got to get my hands on it and feel it and see how big it is, how small it is. Then once I've done that, I'll watch the video and then, I can incorporate anything that I didn't get the first time.
What was kind of tricky for me on setting up the schedule is that there's no, like in Google Calendar, there's a drop down where you can actually click on the times where you just gotta type, you have to type them in, it seems like.
What are you talking about?
Well,
You shouldn't be adding anything. The only thing you should be doing in here, Dennis, is blocking off time. And that's where you go to your business settings. And this is where you put that you're either closed or you're available. That's really all you need to do here.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
But no, I'm talking about blocking time. You just put it in your calendar as a block time.
Right, I'm talking about typing in like 10:30 a.m. - 1 p.m. as, you have to actually type it in as opposed to.
No, there's a drop down. You can pick from the time.
Is there?
Yeah. And then you set the time you want, 30 minutes, an hour, and it'll do.
Are you talking about right here what your office hours are? Yeah, you just put when you're available.
No, when a customer picks a time schedule?
No, I see that with the customer, it has like in half-hour increments,
Oh,
like
okay.
on what they see. But in terms of me setting the time, I have to actually.
Dennis,
yes.
Okay, this is your weekly hours.
Mm-hmm.
It just says when you want to be able to take appointments. I've chosen between 10:30 and 11, people can make appointments.
You
Right.
chose
Take a lunch break at 2, and then I go from 2 to 6, people can make appointments.
Right.
How did
Either
you
half an hour or an hour.
how'd you get that in there? Did you hand type that?
I
or-
just type it. I just type and copied and paste. Ain't all that. Or I type the word close.
Yeah.
This doesn't have to be a drop down.
I think I
Okay.
click on the setup page. I picked the
You
hour.
could, but I had different, so on different days, it might be to something different. Like
Right.
Fridays, I'm going to change this to something else.
Yeah.
You know? No, Fridays, I'm going to do maybe 11 to 7 since I'm going to be here till around 7 o'clock.
Now, do you have the $19 a month or the $10 a month one?
It's just me, so I only need one calendar, so it's just a $10 a month one.
That's what I signed up for. Seems to work.
So what I ended up doing is basically if there's a day here where I want it closed, I just I just go in and I say, okay, close this and set the hours.
Click on set hours and see what maybe that
So here,
hours.
yeah, right. That would be if I decided to say actually, let me do a.
No, but click on set hours and see what comes up.
Yeah, nothing. I didn't change
okay.
anything. So here, if I were to go on Friday the 26th, I decided I'm going to work 11 o'clock. I'm going to be open 11 a.m. I'm not going to take a lunch break. I'm just going to work all day. I set that hours. Now it's now set, but this is a one-off. So notice this is the same. This is my weekly. So it just plopped it in for the August. Now, on this specific day, when people go to make appointments on that specific day, it's going to show that I'm available during that 1 to 2 o'clock time frame. Unless I, put something on my Google Calendar.
Got it.
Cool. Now, can you do it on your Google Calendar and it'll feed?
Yeah, I have. It's two-way Google setup.
Okay, yeah.
So if I plop something in there, it'll show as on my Acuity, so nobody can book over, double book.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then you just go in and do your different appointment types, and I categorized certain ones. I've, said I have existing client meetings, whether they're on-site or virtual, new client meetings on in the office or virtual, that sort of thing. And you can set up as many
Scenarios.
types as you want. You can even do group class, new types of groups and classes and stuff like that. So it really is imaginative. I can't talk today. Imaginative as you want.
So
Did you have to just poke around and figure it out, or was it intuitive?
It was very intuitive. Like I didn't do any training classes or anything. I just went in and started playing around.
Well,
and this is what I got. Now I'm going to actually
message. Go back up to the top. Go back.
It goes, yeah. See, the help button is smiling at you. They have the funniest ways of emailing you. Let's see. The last email I got from them. This is okay. This is a perfect example. This is an email from Kristen. She's like, knock, knock, how's it going? And literally, like, this is how they communicate. And every time I read their emails, I laugh
Yeah.
because it's just so fun and relaxing.
Totally awesome.
What's this dad jokes?
Exactly. We could, swap dad jokes
Yeah.
and get, we can make fun of dads.
Keep this away from my daughter.
But it's a really, I'm really liking it.
Fun.
And I don't usually like to pay for stuff, and I pay for this, and I pay for Zoom. So
Okay.
I have a
How
question.
much is, you said this is $10 a month for one calendar.
yes,
And what Zoom program are you on? I'm on a free one right now.
I pay for Zoom.
An annual thing. What was it? $100 a year? Or
Yeah,
less?
I think you do need to have the pay version of Zoom. We
You
decided-
need to have the pay version of Zoom to link it because you need the API.
Got it.
Right.
Worth it. I have set meetings for all my clients, and they can
Here's the-
start meeting and it ding dongs.
Here's
And
the billing option that we have. You have the emerging entrepreneur. There is a free version. You just don't have the customization. You can't do the API integrations and stuff like that.
Got it.
But for me, right now, I just need the one calendar, and I have all the Google syncing and everything, and I can take payments, and it's only $10 a month.
Okay, Misha, I've got a question. You have all these different types of meetings. Can you have more than one type of meeting on your calendar? What I'm thinking is that on one web page, I want to have a certain type of meeting they can sign up for, and another on front page they can sign up for another type of meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you just copy the code to the different pages, and you just
So you set up the different things you
No,
sell.
you just go in into your business settings, set up your appointment types. I've decided I want 30-minute meetings. I want hour meetings. I want phone conferences. I want video conferences. I'm even going to be renting out my conference room. I've set up to reserve the thing. Once I've got that set up, they'll pay for that ahead of time when they book the space.
Got it.
That's when I'll upgrade to the $19 a month, because then I'll have a separate calendar for the reservation room. And for my trainings and workshops, I'll be able to do the same thing.
But I mean, you could put on one page, existing clients, another web page, new
Why?
clients.
You don't need to, Dennis.
How do they know what they're signing? Do they know what they're signing up for? Or is it
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
Look at
Look,
my page, Dennis, and look at my calendar. There's things to pick from.
Dennis, look at this. Okay.
Sorry, it's late.
No, look. This is what they see.
Oh,
And they
okay.
click on my scheduling link, and it says,
They want.
okay, what would you like to schedule? If you're you should know if you're an existing client or not.
Right. Okay.
And if you want, that's why I have it categorized. You see, that's why I have in office, I have,
Okay.
and all of it is listed here. What I want them to see, what I don't want them to see, I click, to hide. But
Okay.
all of them is there. They just go in, and if it's a new tax client, they're gonna click on this.
Okay.
They've set their time zone. They pick the time. Now remember, I changed that August 26th to 11 to 6 p.m.
Right.
And when they click here, look at that. All of those times are available
Okay.
because they click that 1 hour session, the 1 hour phone session, and they click a time, 3:30. Is it a recurring meeting? No. You click continue. You put your first name, your email address, and I should have a little something on here that asks some questions, but I haven't done that part yet. And then you just complete and confirm.
Okay. So, like for example, with tax season, I wouldn't want to have do a free conference during tax season, but I could just maybe hide that or.
This is a free discovery session, Dennis.
No. What I'm saying is that on my calendar during tax season, I don't want to be offering free.
And don't put it as a choice. They
And don't put it as a choice.
Okay, but what I'm asking is, can you hide it, or do you have to?
Look, Dennis, hold on. When I go here,
in
appointment,
other words, can you inactivate it for certain?
appointment types,
That's what I'm asking.
you notice it says meeting room reservations, not available, not available, not available. It's in here, but it doesn't show up on my landing page.
Oh, okay.
So because I haven't made it's in here because I want to kind of work on it,
Good, so you don't have to
but I'm
redo.
not ready to make it public. When you click edit,
That's
That's
good.
right? You go all the way down.
Hey, colors.
And yeah, you can do custom colors. Girl, I'm about to go hog wild on the colors.
Oh man, I have my new color.
Yeah, but you can actually, you notice this is private. If I put it at public, now it will show up on that main preview page.
Oh, okay.
So you just click it, and it's only available to admins and clients who have the direct link to book. And I haven't given that link out.
Oh, okay.
Question. So Mark just said, what happens when you click reoccurring? Then it
populates it for that day on that time every time. So it's like a meeting, like a once a week meeting or a monthly meeting. You can set up a monthly meeting.
Restrict that.
Can you restrict it? Like how long?
It's restricted by if it's a 30-minute block, an hour block, however long you blocked it.
How many weeks or how many months?
No, or just.
Oh, I'm not sure. I have to look into that to see like how far out they can do it.
Yeah.
Or not available.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you already have something booked during that time, it's going to kick it out. Or it should.
Reoccurring?
Huh?
Can you turn off reoccurring?
As an option.
Yeah, you should be able to turn it off. I have
People messing up your calendar.
Yeah, I can just see somebody mucking up your calendar.
Okay, I'm going to end this now. I mean, I know that we
sorry.
go on and on. We're a little bit over. And
Sorry.
and I promised Mariette that I would give her the floor for the SmartSheets update.
Where is she? Is she on here?
She's
She's
here.
at the bottom. She has no picture up. And
I'm here. Hey, I work and I listen to you beautiful people, so I'm always here. Don't worry.
Well, I like the angel you posted on Facebook this morning.
Oh, I know. Isn't he darling?
Oh,
Okay.
yes. Oh, my God.
Okay, so let me do this quick because I know it's late in some of your places. So let me do this really quickly. Share my screen and share this screen and share my screen. Okay, so you guys see SmartSheet probably, right? I'm sure you do.
Right.
Okay, good.
Discussion, yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so let me show you this, as quick as I can and as thorough as I can. So basically, you know that Sarah and I have been having a lot of fun in here. So let me just keep it really simple. You guys will probably just have, if all you're doing in SmartSheet is using it for us, you'll have a workspace. In your workspace, you'll have one workspace. It'll be called SBAA Compare the Apps.
Got it.
In there, you'll open that up. And as I mentioned before, just to kind of keep it a little organized, I personally went crazy. And then I went back and decided not to be so crazy because I didn't realize.
We can delete that folder now, right?
No, don't delete the folders yet.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why right now. Okay. So basically, and this is important for you guys to know as well if you decide to actually use SmartSheet for work as well. So SmartSheet, you pay for the amount of sheets that you get. So, you can get, I think, minimum 50 sheets and then 100 sheets and then so on and so forth.
No, it's 10 sheets. The cheapest option is 10 sheets.
Oh, is it 10? Okay. I wouldn't have even done 10.
I called them. I thought, what can you do with 10 sheets? I think
exactly.
1,000.
Yeah, I don't know how I would live with 10 sheets.
That's for the people that don't do anything with it. They just pay for 10 sheets and they never get to it.
Right, exactly. So that is a good option. So anyways, point is that I have 50 sheets and that's because I've been strategically trying to stay within 50 sheets. Sarah is amazing. She has 100 sheets because she obviously uses
200.
200?
200, man.
Oh, wow. 200.
Yeah, because I was looking at it. I've got 4 employees and then 50
that makes
employees.
sense. 50. Yeah, that makes sense. So
and I'm at 170. I'm like, holy crap. So I got to talk to the girls about deleting their sheets. But
I've been deleting like crazy. So this is really important to everyone to know, and that's why we've kind of decided amongst Gina, Sarah, and I that we're going to manage it so it doesn't get echoing. Yeah, I hear it too.
Do you have anything up twice?
Am I echoing?
I think you are.
What went different? Okay, let's see.
I don't hear her echoing.
You don't?
Now it's better.
I'm hearing her echoing.
Okay, maybe you guys should all mute yourselves a little bit.
Okay, everybody.
Oh, that's better. But one person should be on here because then I feel like I'm talking to myself, and that sounds really
Okay,
weird.
I'm back. So did I?
You're not. You're good.
Okay, good. Okay, so anyways, the point is that because Sarah and I realized, and I'll just show you right here under account admin, it tells you how many sheets are getting used. I realized that as I was adding more sheets, this was getting up to like almost 50, and I was like, oh wow. And then I realized if that was the case, it was adding up to Sarah's too, and we didn't want that. We didn't want Sarah
Well,
getting.
it's only going to do one or the other.
What do you mean?
It won't add to both of us at the same time.
It won't?
No.
No, it should depend on the owner.
No, whoever owns it. That's why I said, give me the ownership of the sheets that you've made, and let them count towards mine, not yours.
Oh, that's what you. How do I do that?
Pick a sheet. Pick a sheet.
Okay.
Pick a sheet. Pick a sheet.
Okay, here's an important.
Acuity. Pick Acuity, because I want everybody to,
Okay.
or the people that are using Acuity to go on there.
Okay, perfect. So that's what we'll do. So we'll do that in a minute, but before we go there, so let me just show you what we're doing. So what we have is we have this main area, this workspace area. Ignore the folders at this point. And before we even thought about the folders, actually Sarah's idea was literally just have a workspace and have sheets in there. So this is what the sheets look like here. And then if we did a folder system, it would look more like this, where you'd have a folder, and inside the folder you'd have a sheet. So We're going back, I think, better to this idea of just a workspace with sheets in them first.
Well, I
go
put
ahead.
that other sheet on the quick link.
Yeah,
But
that's where
click
I'm
on
going.
the app comparison sheets, and that's where I put all the sheets.
In here.
Yeah, there they
Okay,
are.
that's where you put all of the individual ones.
Those are the sheets by topic. Like,
But these are just comparisons. These are just comparisons, though.
and that's
Right.
where what I want to do is list features, then put the apps in columns, so that if you want to look at project management apps, we can see at a glance.
Right, from a
If
comparative.
it doesn't have it. Okay.
But how about when we're trying to like just get quick links or just like
I did that quick link sheet.
Okay, I see that. So okay, so let me just explain what we did so they don't get confused. So basically back here again, we have this one quick link sheet. This is kind of like where we're going to put all of the categories. Again, this is the idea of saving the sheets, because what I was doing is I was saying, like, under project management, I would have a sheet for Acuity, and under
There's
Acuity.
one thing in it, or a couple things in it.
No, yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying we're not going to do that anymore.
Oh.
So just so they don't get confused.
Right.
Yeah, the idea was to just have a bunch of quick links. I still think it's really important, though, that we somehow make that quick link sheet that I'm going to refer to in a way where it's not so overwhelming. But the idea is that if it was on its own sheet, right, then we can really easily say, okay, here's the Acuity website. Oh, here are the BWAM posts that are associated with Acuity. So, for instance, when we were talking about, son, you need to go out. Okay, when we were talking about someone wrote something on Acuity and then there was tons of feedback back and forth, I think that's really important for someone to be able to get to.
That's awesome.
So if they would have clicked on that, for instance, that would have taken them right to the Facebook post, and it would have taken them to a post with like tons of, look at all these comments on them.
Oh, put links in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying if we do it in just one quick link, I think it's going to be very overwhelming. So you and I kind of have to look into this. But
I'll put that up into just a few, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So what I was thinking is we're going to go back to Sarah's idea first and go back to this quick link. So when you guys are starting in SmartSheets, always start with the quick links. Start there. And in the quick links, we're doing it in hierarchy. So if I go ahead and collapse this, these are the hierarchies. So we got a value pricing topic, a QuickBooks links topic, a tax prep tools topic, social media topics, favorite blogs, payroll apps, remote desktop meetings, things like that, for instance. I think we even have one already on, that one on scheduling. So anyways, point is you open up those different topics, and under those different topics, you're going to actually have those different apps. So here's a scheduling one. Oh, I have to undent it. That's why it looks like that. So
it was under payroll.
Okay, yeah. So there it is. So under scheduling apps. So for instance, if you guys came in here and you're like, Mariette says it's in SmartSheets. When I say that, I mean no matter what, it's always going to be in quick quick links. So you click on quick links, you look for the actual topic called scheduling apps. You open up scheduling apps, and that's where you're going to have a few apps in here. And then I'll just do some basic stuff in here, like, you know, maybe add their websites, and then in the discussions, we can add a couple discussions. But once that topic becomes super duper hot topic, which I already know Aquity is going to be a hot topic, then what I think we need to do is then that's when it will be in its own folder. So like under project management and scheduling, I actually have an Aquity, its own link, its own quick links page, and then that's when we can go just like crazy on, you know, the BWAM post, the YouTube channel. Dennis asked about the YouTube channel. Well, if he clicked on that, that would take him straight to the YouTube channel. You know, again, Facebook posts, if you open the discussion, there's been other Facebook posts, not just mine. So you can click on all the different Facebook posts. So what I'm thinking, you know, kind of just to really build this out in a really nice and organized fashion is you start with the quick links, go to your quick links sheet and either add a new topic, you know, like value pricing, and then like value pricing has all the cool things we've talked about. If this hot topic becomes a super duper hot topic where it's just so overwhelming, then, you know, let Sarah or I know, and then we'll go ahead and we'll put it in its own sheet, but only after we've kind of decided, because again, once it's in its own sheet, now it's counting towards our sheets. So we want to just be careful with that. Obviously, SmartSheets will always be in its own sheet, because we absolutely love SmartSheets. So, you know, that's a good example of one that will be in its own sheet, right? So in 17 hats too, I will have it in its own sheet because I haven't even got started on 17 hats. I could fill this up with hundreds of stuff. So I haven't even gone in there yet.
No, what I should have done is, well, of course I was dead asleep and missed half the hangout, but on the sheet where I want to do the list all the features and then the comparing the different options, the different kinds of apps and columns, I should have been typing in that while we were looking at Aquity, because we were asking questions, and that's why I really want the sheets.
Yeah,
so I could say,
you know,
put the question and you know, and start building it out that way, because I'm not going to remember this. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you. That's why I noticed even on Seth's Hangout, on Gina's, on Joanne's, I usually put my video off and I put on mute because I feel it's better for me to be like behind the scenes and writing different notes and you know, updating, you know, different sheets, because this is more valuable to you guys. I'll pop in once in a while.
Those links are incredible. That's just like a completely different thing than what I had, you know. So.
Yeah. So. That's what I was thinking. I think I mean, I found it very valuable. If you guys, again, come back and look at quick links, I've been adding tons of different topics in here because I just feel like there's things that, like, you know, Dennis may enjoy this one, all the tax prep, tax plan tools. Like, for instance, I'll be honest with you, I probably can go crazy with Tax Planner Pro. I can probably put it in its own sheet. I may not do that for you guys. I may not do that privately because it may not apply to everyone. But the idea is that you guys can look at this, and then if you think, oh, wow, we've been talking so much about Canopy, you know, and it's getting overwhelming to have to click on discussions and look at all the stuff, why don't we just add a new sheet for it? Then that's what we'll go ahead and do. So anyways, I just wanted to explain that, and hopefully it made sense.
Is Misha not over there on the right?
And I was going to ask Misha, she should definitely be updating.
Look over on the shared list. She's not over there?
I don't know if I'm in there. What email am I in there? And I can't even
scroll
see.
down because it's not them.
You can't see my screen?
Yeah.
Hold on. I can. Hold on.
What was that? Oh, no, that wasn't her.
That was me.
I'm going slow.
It's
Misha. M-I-S-C-H-A.
No, yeah, I know, but I passed the M, so it's not there.
Oh, okay.
Poke her in there. Can you just
look under email. It might be in an email because I don't have.
What's your email start with?
It's. I don't know what you're using. Are you using info@theparis.company, or are you using like my Gmail?
List isn't that long, so I don't see you over there.
Yeah, I don't see info either, and I don't see an M.
So go ahead and put her in.
Okay.
I'm not in there either, so.
You're not, okay, why don't you guys, if you guys really quickly, can you just put your emails in the chat, and then I'll copy and paste them in here?
I just did.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so did that make sense? Does anybody have any questions, just basic questions on navigation or kind of what we're trying to do with this?
Dan has suggested that we have reports in there. Now, reports are kind of built in like Xero Xero or QuickBooks or, so I'm not sure. We'll have to think on that topic a little bit.
Okay.
Reports as in linking information from the different sheets, or what do you mean reports?
Yeah, because remember, this is really more of a resource center, not so much. Are you referring, Jan, to more like have templates of a report, what it looks like, or like have attach a template, attach a report to like a discussion?
I'm thinking a PDF of a report would probably be better, not necessarily a link to bring you out to the live report, right?
But a report to what?
Exactly. It would
give me
be
an
a report of, I don't know if you can hear me, but it would be a report of more or less like linking the sheet. So, for example, if you're trying to say like, here's the quick links that link together all of the calendar scheduling, and it brings together all of the sheets so that somebody could just run a report on all of the scheduling, and it would show all of the different sheets and the information and pulls it together in one quick report for them.
So then that would probably be done a report on something like what Sarah started doing, like the comparisons, right? I think that's where the reports would be more valuable. Would you agree?
Yeah, kind of. Maybe I'll try to pull a couple together and then you guys can look at it. And then my other comment to Gina was, what about, and I think that there's a way you can link the sheet. So if one gets a hot topic,
right,
instead of going out, maybe you could just put a little link on it and it
Absolutely.
Just that
yeah, we definitely can do that. You know what? That's a really good suggestion. So that would be as easy as like on the value pricing, we'll link the first line to its own sheet if we actually create a sheet for it. That's a great idea. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, and then I'll go in and try to just create a couple reports of what I'm thinking, and you know, it's no harm, no foul. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, or if it looks like something, because I don't know that a lot of people know or understand SmartSheets, but if you can say, here's some quick reports for you to run, it might be easy, and then it would take them to those sheets.
Right. I agree, and I think that's why I really want to make sure that it's so simple for you guys to use for two reasons. So you can take advantage of it, and more importantly, so you can update it. Because obviously Sarah and I can't be the only ones doing this. And it's not going to be valuable to you if you don't come in here and put in your own input. So like, for instance, Aquity, I know who would love to go in here, hint, hint. So, you know, once you're added, then come on in here and have some fun.
Sure. Misha wants to put her affiliate link in Aquity. Since Misha's the only affiliate at this point, I don't mind that, but when we start getting into things like QBox, when there's like most of us that
as long as it's really clear what it is, but you're saying if they click, if that link shouldn't be an affiliate link here.
No, I'm talking about on SBAA, not in the SmartSheets.
Oh, absolutely, you can.
No, I just wanted to make sure I could put it. I could post it there.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay.
Okay, before I stop sharing, just really quickly, anyone that is not too familiar with SmartSheet, is there anything you want me to show you? Or I know I go really, really fast. Is there anything else?
We should schedule a day when we do more of this, devote like half an hour.
I think we should just dedicate a session for this particular project.
Go ahead and see, or maybe we'll just stay on after we stop recording. I'll show you how to swap ownership.
Okay, yeah, I want to see that because I now understand what you meant. Sarah.
We are really, really over now. We went an hour and a half.
My dinner's getting cold because my honey came home with it.
That perhaps we should spend 5 or 10 minutes at the end of each session until we all get up to speed with SmartSheets. And we'll review what we've done.
Okay. And I have to remember that I have it because, like today, when we were looking at the checkbook, I should have had a SmartSheet open, and as we were asking questions, type those puppies in.
Yeah, is another subject that would be fun to talk about.
Oh, I got a lot more since this morning. Bye.
We're at the hour and a half. Bye, everyone. Have a great
weekend.
Talk to you next week.